Hi, I'm Berenice Temores. I'm going to talk a little bit about stereotypes. An stereotype is a general idea shared by a group of people in order to know information or to describe another group of people or a specific situation. Um, I think stereotypes help us to know something that we don't know. So, to have some information, for example, if I want to travel to another country, to know a little bit about people there. I mean, it's just for having an idea. But something that we have to be very careful with when we speak about stereotypes is not to believe everything because it's a general idea. It is generalizing the population or the entire country or the entire gender. So we have to be very careful in that. There are three types of stereotypes. The first one is cultural, the social, and the racial. I'm gonna give three examples, one for each one. I think an example of a cultural stereotype is when I think about a French person. My expectations are going to be that a French person, a French male, for example, is going to be cold because he is European, but he's going to be romantic. He's going to be not very clean, but he's going to smell good. He is going to be polite, educated. He's going to I suppose he is not going to like to have lots of children or any because of the French culture that I have in mind. Um, in order to what I have heard about French people. For example, another example of a cultural stereotype very marked is the Mexican people. I think Mexicans are seen in all around the world as a lazy people, conformist, corrupt. Some people, when they think about us, they still think that we are riding horses and and in the stuff, right? I mean that we don't that we are not a good people, a good country, etc. Well, that is a stereotype, a cultural stereotype. An example of a social stereotype is I'm going to use the example of yeah, I'm sorry. Where the example of the man versus men, or the how do we behave due to I see a man and he sees me as a woman. So this is a stereotype when we enter and what we have in mind when we interact with each other. For example, imagine that you are in a room, in a business room, in a meeting, and there is a woman as a boss. What is going to what it calls my attention and what I think is what is going to be happening in the mind of the girl, of the mind of the woman, and the mind of the man. And due to these stereotypes, they are going to behave and they are going to have good or bad communication if they are not professionals. For example, I imagine or I want to think that a man is going to believe, is going to think that the boss, the woman, doesn't deserve to be in that place. She doesn't want to be um, he doesn't want to follow the orders of a woman because she is supposed to be at home or she is supposed to be the secretary and bringing coffee. In the other side, the woman is going to think that the man is not going to respect her, that maybe he is not going to be interested, he is going to be cruel to her, and she is going to be underestimated and seen as a witch because it happens. So I think that is an example of social stereotype. The last stereotype is a racial one. I want to give us an example. I want to comment a video that I just watched due to the research of this topic. An experiment that it was made in USA about how people behave when they see a white boy trying to steal a bike in comparison with with seeing a black boy who is trying to steal the same bike. You won't believe the reactions. It is unbelievable how humans behave and how humans can react in front of other human being just because the color of the skin. I mean, some of them were also asking or offering help to the white boy that it was going to steal the bike. Totally the opposite with the black boy, that they immediately called the police. They called 911, and one old man started to shout at him. So I think there are lots of examples of this topic. It's stereotypes. It is something that we human race have created for some reasons. I think it is important to have a stereotype. It was an idea that is useful if you want to know about something. I mean, it's cultural information. I think it's a general information that we all have to know. In that information you heard, and it is in your mind. I mean, you think about a black person, and you immediately or suddenly start to have this mix of thoughts of information, that some are true, some are not, because um, we are all different, like I mentioned before in the beginning. So I I will conclude by saying that um, from now on I'm going to be very careful when I heard some information, and what are going to be my first thoughts when I want to talk about something, because we are not just to give second chances. We go to judge. We go to judgment. I don't know why, but it is maybe in the human nature to judge and to pretend we know about something, and we just are misinformed, or I mean there is not a balance between being careful and trust. So um, I, I appreciate you heard me, and I hope this information is useful. Thank you.